Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Raw Courageous. I'm talking a little bit louder than I ordinarily would right now because I've just had something happen that I never expected I just never expected. I'm actually in a little bit of shock right now. It's just now 8 o'clock. The sun is just barely hitting the top of the trees, and it's October 18th, 2019. The youth rifle season opened up this morning, and my son is going to be hunting a little bit later in the weekend. It is Friday, and I took the day off so that I could spend some time with the kids, trying to get them some deer down before things really kicked off in the season. And got out here, got up really early. I planned on getting up at 4 o'clock this morning, and decided I'd sleep in for another hour, and got up, kind of milled around the house for a little while, and oh my gosh, I'm shaking so bad I can't even control it. I'll tell you about that in a second. But I got up, left the house after clearing off my SD cards so that I could reinstall them in the cameras, and I brought out 50 pounds of corn to drop out here and get ready for the youth season, like I said, in case my son was coming here, or unless he was going to the property that my older son, his brother, lives on. I've also been prepping the place for my stepdaughter Lydia, but she kind of had a mishap here in the last week and a half or 2 weeks where she had a knee blowout. Right now it's probably not a good idea for her traipsing up through the rocks and the timber and things like that, so hopefully soon we'll be able to get her out here and get something on the ground for her. But little thing, it was super calm, super calm. I mean, deathly quiet. And oh my gosh, it was deathly quiet. And then, I don't know, probably 20 minutes ago, the wind started picking up just a little bit. It's about 48, 47 degrees, and it's probably creeping up to about 50, 51 right now. But it's supposed to be about 70 degrees today in the middle of the day, 5 to 10 mile an hour south wind, which is going to be great. So I got out here, and I knew that I was going to be catching the very back end of the lunar transit. People, I've been telling you about this. The lunar transit is the key. The moonrise is the key. The moonset is the key. So the moon transit, the lunar transit, happened just close to 5 o'clock this morning. So I knew that with the first rut or the pre-rut coming on, that there was going to be a window of about an hour and a half to 2 hours that was going to come into play, which was going to put it right after 6. So if I got into the timber, the deer might be coming through as they're heading to their bedding areas. And I grunted 3 times, real soft, after I heard some grunts off in the distance a little bit. And I waited for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I grunted 3 more times, real soft, real gentle. And it wasn't 2 minutes later, I had this nice doe come in. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be great. I've been wanting to take a doe first anyway, just to see what's going on. And so I drew back, or I had the crossbow drawn back. I leveled up on her at about 20 yards and put the Rage hypodermics on her and slammed her. I kid you not. I'll show you right below me where she was when I hit her. So folks, I'm real sorry about the shaking, but I can't help it. There's a hill right here, and she came off the side of this. I heard the grunting back over here, and she came off the hill right down through here and paused right here, right before she got into some open area, about 20 yards out from where I was. She came out right here and crossed right down through here, and I waited and I waited and I waited because I wanted a good broadside shot. She stood right there, and I popped her, and I'm not kidding. She's laying right there. Now, so I'm sitting here and I thought, that's pretty awesome. And I got really excited. Well, it wasn't a minute or 2 later, I heard a twig snap back over here. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. There's another deer coming in. So I went ahead, and I'm going to pan around so that you can see what my setup is. So I came over here, and I pulled out another crossbow bolt real fast, and I knocked that dude on the crossbow, but I hadn't even drawn the crossbow back yet to recock it. And so I'm reaching back to get that crossbow bolt, and I pull it out, and I have to hold onto it with my teeth in my mouth and pull back on the crossbow when I hear another twig snap, and I see a nose right there. And I thought, oh my gosh. And that deer kept looking at the doe right over here that's on the ground. So I thought, are you kidding me? And it slowly started picking up here, and it threw its nose up in the air, and then I realized it's a buck. And so I'm looking at this thing, and it's an 8-point, and I don't recall seeing this one on camera. So this is exactly the kind of thing that I've told you about, where the bucks are breaking up and they're cruising, and right now they're following does. Just kind of not real aggressively, just real gingerly and passively. But he came out right here, and I put it on him right there. And let me tell you about these luminocs. I watched him carry my luminoc off of his right shoulder all the way back around through here, and over in the creek bed. Now, I'm imagining that he's down there not too far away. He's got the hypodermic stuck in his shoulder. But I got off the phone with my oldest son just a minute ago, and he was sitting on the tree stand. Alright folks, sorry about the cut off. My wife called in while I was recording that video, so the video shut off. But the buck is behind me, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to get down out of the tree stand. I've got the backpack on now. I'm going to get down, pick up the blood trail in front of me, and my son is on the way to help me get these things out of here. The buck looked like a really nice body side buck. He's not some massive super giant. He is an 8-point that I haven't seen on camera. More excitingly is I have never in my life doubled with archery, and this is a banner day, and I am super excited. So let me get down, let me go take a look at the doe. I'll give you some video footage of her real quick, and then I'm going to pick up the blood trail and make sure that I can pick it up. I know he's got the arrow stuck in him because I watched him run off with it for 30 yards at least, and so we'll see. Cross your fingers. This is a prayer answered. When I got up in the tree stand, I always say a prayer and ask God to bless me and to bless my family. And this one is from Him. And I will never, ever go a day without acknowledging that. So that's a tip. That's a tip, and that's probably the most important tip that I could ever give. This is a blessing from God. This is His nature, not mine. He created it, not me, and I am profoundly grateful for what He's done today for us. All right, folks, so here's one of my cameras, and right there's the doe. How about that? Is that not crazy? Let me tell you something. I love these Rage hypodermics. They slam them. They hit them hard. And what a broadhead. What a broadhead. Folks, I don't think you can get better shot placement than that. I am so super excited. Oh my gosh. How crazy is this? Folks, I cannot say enough about these luminocs. I am a believer. I am a believer. And look at this Rage. What a broadhead. What a broadhead. All right, folks. I'm down out of the tree stand right here. I just pulled the doe out, and she's over there by the camera right now. So I wanted to get down and pick up the blood trail on this buck and see what we've got. All right, so one of the things that you look for is the first blood, and there's a spot right there. But I'm getting ready to show you what these hypodermics do, because this is phenomenal. That deer was standing right here, but oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Within 3 feet, he is bleeding like crazy. I love these Rage broadheads. So I typically carry toilet paper in my backpack so that I can mark blood trail. But I really don't think it's going to be a problem this time. There's blood everywhere, and it looks like it's coming out both sides. So we'll just follow it along here and see what happens. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. He's bleeding pretty hard. He's bleeding pretty hard. I don't think he's going to be far. Going to be far. He's spraying blood. How exciting is this? Alright, there's blood right there. Blood on his leaves. Blood right there. It's good. Red blood. That's a great sign. I mean, I know I hit him hard, and I hit him hard in the shoulder. I know I hit him real hard because he carried off the shaft. All right, I'm going to pause this right now so I can pay attention to what I'm doing, but hang with me, folks, because we're going to, heaven willing, we're going to pick this deer up. Folks, what an amazing morning. What an amazing morning, folks. This is raw to rages. And let me tell you something. Those rage broadheads put the smack down on this buck. This is not the biggest buck I've ever shot. It's not the biggest buck I've ever seen. But this is the biggest archery kill I have ever had in my life. And let me tell you something else. I was telling you about the blessings from God, if you will pray about things. I don't mean to be super religious on stuff like this, but I do need to let you know what matters to me. And one of the things that matters to me is obeying Malachi's commandment to pay tithing to God. And this is an example of where he talks about how he will open the windows of heaven so that there will not be room enough to receive the blessings that he will give. It's October 18th, and there are 2 deer down right now. And what a gift. What a gift. I am so thankful. And I'm thankful to you for watching and sharing this with me. So let's have a great 2019 deer season. There's still a lot of it left. Youth weekend here is just now opening up this morning. And let's get these kids out there. Let's share this with them. Now, there's going to be more of this video soon, but I've got a lot of work to do now, as you might expect. Again, my son's on the way, and my son-in-law is on the way, and it's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a busy day, but I thank you, and I thank my wife, and I thank my children, and I thank God, and I thank all who develop products that make this kind of thing possible. So, folks, I want to thank Barnett Crossbows for this. Night and Hell Game Calls. This is their easy grunt tube. Used that thing 6 times this morning, and this dude came running in. Want to thank Gold Tip for their carbon crossbow shafts, Rage broadheads, Fieldline Pro Series backpacks. And what can I say about Mossy Oak? I love this stuff. I love it, and it is phenomenal. Thank you all so much for making this one of the best deer hunting days of my entire life. Thank you. Hey guys, it's me again. Still out here in the timber. Just got the doe to the buck up the creek bed, but I wanted to make sure that I mentioned also summit tree stands. I've been sitting on summit tree stands for a long time, close to 25, 28 years. And I've been sitting on APIs as well. I love them both. This morning it's a summit day, and just want to tell you guys thank you so much. I'm going to put this camera down here in just a minute, and I'm going to talk through gutting these two deer. I'm going to go ahead and do it out in the field. I prefer not to do that if I'm going to be sitting immediately thereafter again, but with two deer down, I really don't see the need to do that right now. I can take care of some other needs that I've got at the house. But as I mentioned in the earlier video, when I was on here, folks, this is an absolute testament to the lunar modeling we've been talking for weeks about. This happened at the very tail end of the lunar transit. I've been saying it, and this right here, that right there, that's the proof. That's the proof right there. So I really can't reinforce that enough. So we're going to get these things going and see where it takes us. All right, guys, so I've got them both gutted. I've got my stuff packed up. I've got to pick that up. I'm going to head back over the hill behind me after I secure these animals and contact my son, who's going to meet me here. So a lot of blood, but that's part of the job. I'm profoundly grateful, and I want to thank all those who've over the years and decades and centuries kept this heritage and this tradition alive. This is meat for the house, meat for the winter, meat for the friends and neighbors, meat for needy people. So that's why we do it. Hey everybody, welcome back. I've got my son Logan here, right there. He showed up to help me get these two deer out that we shot this morning, and they're not too far in front of us. We're going to go get them, and they've already been gutted, as you've seen. But one of the things that I wanted to show you is something that he picked up on as we went back to where I took the shots this morning. As we were walking immediately, he recognized that this was a scrape. Now, we've talked about scrapes before, and I want to show you what this looks like. Or, actually, I'm not. I'm going to let him show you what it looks like and what happens and what kind of sign we know about it as we look at it. So, have at it.
All right. So, two of the biggest signs that we like to look for when we're deer hunting are scrapes and rubs. Rubs, as my dad has shown you on previous videos, are the ones that are scraped up against the tree and the tree bark gets rubbed away from the tree. Scrapes are more of a community center, whereas your rubs are places for bucks to get the velvet off and show off how big they are. Scrapes is like a community center. Each deer, they have glands on the frontal portion of their face. And so what they'll do is they'll come up to these low-hanging branches like these, and they'll sit there and they'll rub their head back and forth on these low-hanging branches, getting their scent on it, so that other deer will come through and they'll, hey, Billy Bob was over here, right? So they'll do that, and then the bucks will actually paw out. If he'll show this spot on the ground right here, they will paw out this ground right here, okay? As another sign that this is a scrape, another sign that this is a community center for deer. As they paw this out, you can tell that this is a long pawed out section, kind of like this, so you know that the deer are moving this way and that way. They're not coming up and down this hill, they're going down the path of least resistance like we've talked about in previous videos. So, something to pay very close attention to when you're walking through the woods is cleared out small sections of ground near low-hanging branches. And when you see those things, you will know that you're near a community center where deer like